Live. I am here, in the words of All Might. In the words of All Might, I am here. Please tell me you know what I'm talking about. Please tell me you know what I'm talking about. Working? There we go. What's going on, everybody? Hope you are doing well. And that you have a lovely weekend and that the week has been plentiful for you. Other than, of course, some bad news we were hit by. It's Friday. This is not a good game episode. I've actually got some things during this that I intend to like try to do. Gonna have some super chat goals for things that honestly, like the first goal I fully intend to do, which is like I want to do a breakdown of like what does time like for a gamer, because obviously kind of a main center point that we could talk about is the Xbox Game Pass news this week. I'm happy to talk about whatever, you know, but that's obviously a main event this week that we could openly discuss here finally in just a live chat format. And in that vein, I got some super chat goals today that kind of has to do with Xbox that like the first one I would love to do that I'm probably just going to do regardless is kind of just having this breakdown of like hours versus dollars. That's going to be something that I want to talk about because that's like a big thing about all this is the hours versus dollars that we potentially have. So yeah, there's just stuff like that. And of course, addressing other stuff. So I just hope we have a good time chatting about stuff today. And I don't know, I just appreciate it. So I can, I don't want to pick how many super chats. Oh, that's not what I thought it would be at all. Well, whatever, I'll put it. Anyway, but hello, Dark Hunters, Creature, Supertone. We also got the Halo reveal coming up, too. I guess there was news about that this week. The Halo World Championships, that's going to go down towards the end of the month. And boy, oh boy, we shall see. And I'm using my new camera, by the way. It's currently working. I shouldn't jinx it. Watch, I'm going to do something right now. And it's going to ruin it. Nope. We're still kicking. Oh, actually, I should put this on it. What do you think this is? Pop quiz. What do you think this is that I am holding here? None of you are going to guess it. If anybody is even remotely close, I will be impressed. I'll give you a hint. Look at that. Oh, it splits. What? Oh, that's a big hint. What is that? Oh, what is it? Anyway. Shout out to the about 12 people watching right now, it looks like. How's it going? Drop your questions. My first question. Oh, Supertone. A miniature fan. I mean, I kind of gave it away by showing that. But get a little bit more specific, because that's a little bit unfair. Because I kind of gave you this glimpse. But what do you think its exact purpose is? That's the question. Fan for the camera. All right, C2's got it. I kind of gave it away. I didn't make this hard because if you paid attention, then I kind of explained it. Yes, it is a. It's imagine it's like a cooler for the camera. Like this back pad here, it gets freezing cold when this gets going, like super cold, and you put it on the back of the camera because this camera overheats fast. So anyway, oh my god, and there's like a super duper top super chat goal today that if we do it, it'll actually become a video where I do an Xbox Game Studios tier list. We're not going to reach that goal though, so don't worry. That's not going to happen. But let me just smack this on real quick. Just get to look around my room for a moment, and hopefully I don't ruin the HDMI cable. But what's everybody playing? Oh, Jesus. I might have ruined it. Okay, we're attached. Am I still here? Oh my god, I'm still here! Why is this theme? And we're back. The table! It's broken! That's a reference. Alright, anyway. Our table! It's broken! And C2 is here. That boy and I can definitely have some conversations. Oh, that autofocus is so beautiful. Alright, anyway. C2's been playing Fire Emblem Engage. Fire Emblem Engage? What triggered this? What is this madness? Sorry. I was messing with this before the stream and I'm like, oh my god, did I fix my freaking new camera problem? And I, shouldn't jinx it, but it seems so. But, see. So I'm skeptic. Anyway, alright, and Hades 1. Wait! So you're playing Hades 1 but not Hades 2? I thought you already played Hades 1, C2. Why did I just sound like Dr. Seuss? Thought I had it settled, but the second I, like, moved everything, it got bad. God, that autofocus is so good. Sifu. Alex, you're playing... Oh, that's right. Alex, you're bouncing around between a couple things, though. So, yeah. Patrick! I was playing Master Duel before I got the notification. Patrick, what deck you rocking? Because, Master Duel's the shit. I think Master Duel is the bee's knees. Ants is playing Hades 2. C2, I'm waiting for Hades 2 to come out on PlayStation. Oh, I see. Oh. That's true. Oh, that's true, isn't it? They made it... Oh, I totally forgot about this. They made it a Switch 2 console exclusive. In terms of the consoles. That's right. Hades 2 is a freaking console exclusive. I forgot about that. Like, it's on Steam, so that's a thing, but, like, Hades 2... That's a wild get. That's a big get from Nintendo. They got Hades 2 and the next FromSoft game. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, I guess I can raise this a bit. Ugh. Oh Jesus. Why is this still so low? I don't understand what happened. Oh, I know what to do. Duh. I have a manual desk, that's why. I was about to overly complicate things. Last night I played one round with each of my characters / builds last night in Darktide. Oh. You've been at Darktide for a bit, creature. Do you hit Space Marine 2 that much? I want to just... So, can we... Okay, first, let's have a first topic, shall we? And this kind of, like, honestly, if there's a backbone to all this, yes, there's the conversation to have about Xbox Game Pass, but it kind of has to do with Xbox Game Pass, is like... I did a whole episode about this on Codename Good Game. I think it was like the first episode we ever did. But there's this whole conversation about... I'm listening to like epic Halo music and it's not helpful. We need like chill game music. Like, hello. Sure. We're gonna do that. But yeah, the thing that I want to bring up is like, do you miss going back to, take, you know, Creature's here, and he's been playing, you know, he's back into Darktide, and I don't know if you took a break from that when, like, Space Marine 2 came out, but, like, the question is, Do you just miss some multiplayer games you used to play? Because I think that's the beautiful part about multiplayer games, is that they like will never end potentially. You know, they're just something that you could always play and continue your journey, whether it's to grind to level up your stats or cosmetics, or maybe you just want to have fun, or maybe you want to work up the ranks. There's always like a reason to play a multiplayer, or fourth reason, you just want to hang out with your buds. And like for me, I miss playing the finals. I miss playing Helldivers 2. I miss playing Sea of Thieves. But over time, I started up Wu Chang. I played Donkey Kong Bonanza. I got really into Rematch. And it's just like, I miss these multiplayers I used to play so much. But they get thrown to the wayside because of all these new games that I play. And it's like, I genuinely feel like, again, backbone of the whole stream, if I really did like let go of Game Pass Ultimate, the good part about that is that I would just be spending endless amounts of hours in certain multiplayers that aren't Game Pass games. Admittedly, half the multiplayers I play are Game Pass things, but like, I'm just curious. I want to know what anybody thinks about that. Like, do you miss certain multiplayers that you used to play a lot, but you keep starting up something new that's stopping you from going back? You know what I mean? Very curious. Or am I just alone in that feeling? Earlier, Patrick, you answered you play with Blue Eyes. I mean, cool. There's a whole world, though. There's a whole world beyond Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. Alex, I refuse to play Master Duel with the current decks. What do you mean? How do you get... Don't tell me you... Alex, are you putting a lot of money in that game to build the decks? You could just play the game and make them for free. And you get to practice with the decks that you make. What's happening? Father Gucci. What a name, again. Can't wait for Hollow Knight 3 in 2030. I mean, I'd say more like 2033. Supertone. That would be Titanfall 2 for me. That's a good question. Titanfall 2, or that's a good point. Titanfall 2, like, I thought that game was awesome. But I'm not playing it anymore. And like Battlefield 1, I'm not playing it anymore. And probably a most recent thing is like Fall Guys and Yu-Gi-Oh! I played the shit out of those games. And I haven't really been playing them because I'm so like just consuming new shit. I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's many that are with me on that. C2, they do end if they're old enough. And that's true too. Like I would say, to me, I know there's a lot of people that differ on this. Like I got freaking Rob and Kel from Gaming Duo. I had a great time playing 33 Immortals with them for the first couple weeks, and then they bailed, and I was the only one still playing it. And then we got into Rematch for the first couple weeks, and then they bailed, and then I'm the only one playing it. So maybe it's just me, but I like my multiplayers. It's a good multiplayer if I am having fun playing it a year later. Straight up. Mario Kart World, same thing. A couple of people I know were playing it for the first couple weeks. They bailed. Splatoon 3, first couple weeks, and then they bail. And it's just like, I like multiplayers to last forever. So I don't know. Like, that's just something that's like genuinely, that's, if you want to get me going on a long-winded topic, that is the most long-winded topic I could probably get into. But anyway, I do see there was a question. If you're just joining, thank you very much for joining. There's not much structure to this stream. Obviously, the backbone is the news that Xbox Game Pass, you know, the changes that happened, and you know, there's kind of an overall backbone to that, where what is our hours worth in terms of value, and how does that vary? Indies versus AAA. I feel like there's just a lot of conversations we could have surrounding this news of Game Pass and why people are freaking out about it, and what is deemed valuable to one person versus the other. There's a lot of different directions we could go with it. So I kind of just, I'll throw some questions, but I'm happy to see your questions, as I see George did. But really quick, George, let me just look at the other things. And again, is there any multiplayers that's my first question. Is there any multiplayers that you kind of miss, that you wish you were just kind of in a dry spell for a bit and could just go back and play just for the fun of it? Ants, I feel like when the player base goes down, I typically lose my interest in the game too. That's true. Like Halo Infinite, I still play, and I'm gonna be. By the way, shout out to Halo Infinite. God, this camera looks good. Sorry. Shout out to Halo Infinite. This Tuesday, does anybody know what's going down? Does anybody know what's going down the next Halo Infinite operation? I'm going back, and I'm gonna grind. I am going to play the shit out of Infinite, and I'm excited to return to that. I've always played it kind of passively, like once every week or two, but this time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit this at least a couple hours a week. Curious if anybody knows why. Supertone, try playing Ancient Gears or Gem Knights. I've never heard of either of those. Why do you bring those up, Supertone? Why do you bring those up? Patrick, if I had Xbox Game Pass, I'd probably have the same problem as you. So many multiplayer, so little time. And that's true too. Patrick, that's a really good point. Xbox Game Pass, like, that's kind of a reason, honestly. Like, if I didn't have Game Pass, I probably would have played Helldivers 2, 3, and the finals, like, 3 times as much as I did this year. And I would probably still be playing those older games. Like that's a super good point, Patrick. And that's kind of why it's like, yeah, I'm experiencing so many brand new games and indie things that a lot of people might not even be experiencing. But man, I just want to grind out that freaking ODST Warbond and Helldivers 2. Fighting games last like 7 or 8 years. I mean, do they though? Like, are people still playing Dragon Ball FighterZ like mainstream? Like, people are still playing Smash Bros. People are still playing, you know, like Killer Instinct. But is it like, you know, is it like 1% of the population and it's just enough to find matches? I don't know. Make a Killer Instinct sequel. Do it, cowards. Creature, Darktide just came out with a recent event where they have all the lights turned off. Oh, in certain maps, which I didn't know before when I hit play, which was my sniper build. But I could only see 10 feet. That sucks! You go into a dark map, and you use a sniper on a dark map. That's freaking hilarious. All right. George, yeah, I'll be putting time into Black Ops 7, so I gotta find time to get use out of my other Game Pass games, yeah. And so that's a whole conversation. Like, there's a lot we could talk about with Game Pass. Seriously, there's so many different directions. But that's a direction, George, where, like, it just feels like you kind of gotta get through Silksong before, like, let's say hypothetically for me, like, if I wasn't getting Battlefield, Digimon, or anything, I wasn't Hades, I wasn't interested in anything, it was just Game Pass, like, I gotta make sure I get through Silksong in time for Deep Rock Galactic. Oh, I gotta get through Deep Rock Galactic Survivor before I get to Bollocks Pit. Oh, I gotta get through Bollocks Pit before I get to Outer Worlds 2. Oh, I gotta get through Outer Worlds 2 before Black Ops 7 comes out. Oh, wait, I forgot that Keeper came out during all that shenanigans. Oh, shit, Ninja Gaiden 4, too. And that's the backbone to the problem. That's a tease to what is the problem with Game Pass Ultimate now. Is anybody sensing what that, like, we're just diving into it now. That's the problem with Ultimate. That's the problem, because I kind of want to put a poll, but, like, I really genuinely want to see your guys' answers to this question. If you set aside any ideas of, like, corporate greed or vendettas against Xbox or suits, like, put everything aside and just genuinely ask yourself this question and share your answer, because I love your answers. That's what we're here for. You are my person that I'm bouncing with here. Is $30 worth Ubisoft Plus Basic, EA Play Basic, Fortnite Crew, day one, 75 day one releases a year, cloud gaming? Is it worth that? On paper. I'm not asking if, like, it's worth it to you and you would buy it. I'm just saying on paper. Because to me, and I'm going to read the answers here, that's absolutely worth it on paper, because the monetary value of that is like, it's more like $60 a month, or maybe more like $50 a month when you actually add up everything that's in that. But the problem, I see Creature saying, yes, that would be worth it. But the problem is everything I listed out earlier. Where, oh, I gotta beat Silksong before Deep Rock. Oh, I gotta beat Deep Rock before Keeper. Oh, I gotta beat Keeper before Ninja Gaiden. Oh, I gotta beat Ninja Gaiden before. It's like this race. And oh, in the meantime, there's all these Ubisoft games. Oh, they just added Harry Potter. Oh, I gotta ditch all this and play Fortnite because I have Fortnite Crew and I could abuse that battle pass. Oh, oh, EA Play. Oh, I get a 10-hour trial to Battlefield 6. It's like, it's too much. And I'm surprised, Alex, I see you saying, heck no, $12 plus $8 plus $6 plus $20 isn't worth $30? Again, I'm not asking if it's worth it to you. I'm asking if you think it's worth, like, does that make sense how they priced it that? That's what I'll phrase it as. Sorry, rephrase question. Does that make sense why they would price it that? Getting an $8 subscription, a $6 subscription, a $12 subscription, and a $20 subscription all bundled together. It makes sense when you think of it like that. But again, the problem is that while that's all great and dandy, unless somebody has no life and they are just playing, and I'm going to ask, and this is something I want to, like, I'm going to put a poll in the chat in a moment. As, like, George, they think I'm a gaming machine, and I need to answer your question, George. Exactly. It's like, unless you are playing video games like 5+ hours a day, you are not going to hit all of those benefits. So what's even the point? Unless you're playing 5 hours of video games every day, or you're playing like 50 hours a week or something, you are not going to hit all of those benefits. So why pay for it? It's a forced package of things. Now, again, there's going to be people that's absolutely worth it to. You know, there's going to be people that's absolutely worth it to. Like, oh, shit, I've actually never played an Assassin's Creed game, so that's kind of cool. Oh, actually, I was really interested in Hogwarts Legacy and everything. And the whole idea, it's just that, like, I don't know, I want to cut myself off there because my point is that I think on paper, yes, it's priced fairly. That's a controversial statement, maybe? I don't think it is. I think it is priced fairly, but being priced fairly is not the same as people wanting it. You know what I mean? You could be offered $1 million home for $300,000 today. Does that mean you're just going to spend $300,000? Yeah, that's a crazy good deal, but that doesn't mean you want to buy that home. So anyways, because your kid's doing the playing. Now, Creature, that's a good point. It'd be great if it was like, it's a $30 plan for the family, and it's like you could spread it across multiple people, and then that's like stupid worth it. I would actually do that. Kind of like Nintendo. Nintendo does a family plan. And there was rumors Xbox was going to do that. I don't see why they didn't. I need to go back to George's question. Patrick, I feel bad for gaming channels. You guys never really sit down and enjoy gaming because you have to pay attention to new releases and give first impressions. No, Patrick, I'm glad. Like, Patrick, I appreciate the sympathy. But I don't do that. I mean, and honestly, that's just because I just don't make the money to actually be a gaming channel. I'm just here as a person sharing ideas with you guys and conversations I'd love to have. So until this is a full-time gig, I'm not doing that. But I'm with you. Like, sometimes I feel like they're so caught up in the rat race, but that's why I've always established, like, I never want to be a game reviewer or a news-focused channel, because, like, news-focused, I've been easing off of it a bit, if you guys haven't noticed. I still talk about news-related things, but I don't talk about every piece of news. Just certain ones that interest me, because it just gets too repetitive. It gets too tiring. And as you said, you're constantly chasing something. And game impressions, too. It's like, if I was a game reviewer, I would not be able to enjoy my gaming time. I would feel so pressured as to what I am playing, even more than I feel pressured now, which is saying something. So yeah, I'm glad I don't do that, but you're right. Like, it sucks for those channels. But at the same time, they got like a great privilege, you know? But anyway, let me take a breath. C2, value only matters to each subscriber personally. Fortnite crew is valueless if you don't play Fortnite. Exactly. C2, that's exactly it. You know, like, that's great if you're a Fortnite player, which there is, you know, there's a shit ton of Fortnite players, and maybe that's what they're banking on, but it's like, like, that's true. If you're a Fortnite player, like, you can't quit Fortnite, and you already had Game Pass Ultimate, maybe that's their approach. And maybe that makes sense. It's like, oh, we want to appeal to all the Fortnite players, all of the, I guess, the people that would like to play Ubisoft games and all the EA peeps. Like, we want to appeal to those people instead of everybody. Because, yeah, if you're an active Fortnite player, then this is going to save you $2, and you're going to, I don't know. It's still weird, but anyway. George, yeah, King David is Fortnite guy, so he gets his value. Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, it's going to be particular to the player. But George, let me go back, because you asked a question I appreciate. I love questions. I appreciate that. Keep them coming, because it keeps the conversation going. I haven't even talked about what I've been playing, man. I've been on a roguelike kick. If you watch me on twitch.tv/Kibiji, you know about that. But anyway, I'm winded. I'm happy to be talking with you guys. It's been an eventful week. George, question for you. Wait, hold on. There was something I wanted to look into. Hang on, George. I want to see if I can make you as part of the stream.
In the ancient land of Eldoria, skies shimmered and forests whispered secrets to the wind.
We're off under the lights here for this semi-final clash.
Okay, hold on. Let's try this. Let's try this. Thank you for the bless you. Let's try this. Not to make your question a joke, but let's just do it. Oh, you even get to put in. Oh, that's interesting. Well, whatever. Oh, wait, come on. Let me. I want to type. It won't let me type. There we go. No. No. Let me do it. I want to see if I can do it. There we go. Does it work?
Question for you. Xbox says they will put 75 day one games on the service within the year. If even half of those end up being great games, is the new price for Game Pass worth it?
I love it so much. Holy shit, that was great. Oh shit. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Was that only funny to me and George? I thought that was hilarious. Okay. Okay, real talk though. Okay, hang on. One more time.
Question for you. Xbox says they will put 75 day one games on the service within the year. If even half of those end up being great games, is the new price for Game Pass worth it?
George, that's such a good question. That's a really good question. Because that's something that we did that I do appreciate, in my opinion. I think that was great that they offered that clarity of, you know, like, hey, we are promising, and this is Xbox, so we have to take that lightly. I think it's going to be 69, giggity. But 75 day one games, they are promising that. And that's why some people have pointed out, like, if you look at it, it's $360 a year. That's the price of like 6 games or whatever. And that's a fair way of looking at it. I think it's like, which is why they need to freaking come up with an annual thing where you get like a, I don't know, if you pay annually, it's $300 a year. And I would do that. I would actually do that because, yeah, when I look at it that way, 75 day one games in 1 year, if even a third of them are bangers, you know, or even a quarter of them are bangers, that was worth it. But yeah, George says like, or I see Patrick, like 75 day one games. That sounds like too much content. Exactly. You're not going to play all of them, but I need to answer George's question. But to me, I mean, this is kind of the answer to his question because he was saying, if even half of those end up being great games, is the new price of Game Pass worth it? And I would say easily yes, you know, but it just depends on what the games are, because that's kind of the whole thing that I wanted to do, like the super chat goal with, which is like if we if just breaking down a measurement of time versus game value, because that's really what it is. Let me see if I can get a doc going. But I would say, yeah, like ICC2, if you're a multiplayer gamer and you don't play on PC, you have to pay a third of that price already. So the upgrade is more appealing at $20 a month for day ones. If you're a multiplayer gamer and don't play on PC, you have to, C2, can you rephrase that? Because I don't quite understand what you're saying. Alex, I think it's lame. They're already increased the price, and one of the reasons is Fortnite Crew, and that doesn't even kick in until November. Okay, Alex, that is a super good point. That is a really good point. I am shocked that they upped the prices before shit kicks in, because that's a problem. But anyway, like, yeah, Patrick, I look at it from a choice standpoint. Having too many options makes it even. Yeah, like, having too many options becomes a problem. It's like you go to, like, so the way I see it is, to George's question, you know, if half of these 75 games are great, that's great, but like, if I want to get a Chipotle burrito, I'm going to get a Chipotle burrito and buy it for $12 or $10 or whatever it is. Or I could go to like a Mexican buffet, eat all the burritos I want for like $30. But I'm only going to probably have like 2 burritos. So did I really get my money's worth? Do the math. And that's what I would see with Game Pass now. Like, yeah, George, it's a luxury item. To answer your question, yeah, if, say, they release 77... If they release 76 games, and 38 of those games reviewed like 79 or 80 or higher on OpenCritic, that's great. But what if it's a Silk Song? Silk Song is one of the highest reviewed games of the year. It launched on Game Pass day one. You could buy the game for $20 or play it with Game Pass temporarily, or hopefully within the month, for $30. And that's where the complication thing jumps in, where it's like, to me, if those 75 games are not just the indie titles, I still want to see the indie titles, don't get me wrong, but it kind of makes me a little bit like, it makes me like definitely depends on how much $70 games they add. Exactly, George. Wait, I need to do the thing, because you deserve it for that. You deserve it for that. I want this to be read out loud. Come on, do it. Why is my... I don't know why my keyboard isn't working good.
Definitely depends how much $70 games they add.
Exactly. Exactly. George, you nailed it. That's the point. If the thing about this $30 tier is that it makes the smaller games not as interesting. The Citizen Sleepers, the Undertales, the recently I played Herdling, the even Silk Songs. It makes those lower priced games not as enticing to play unless they're really short, you know, like Herdling. Unless they're really short, they're not that enticing to play. Deep Rock Galactic, I think, is like $20 too. They're not as enticing to play because if you if you don't game that much and don't get through them within the month and don't have time for something else, then technically you wasted money. You know, if you take the whole month to beat Silksong, not only did you spend an extra $10 to do so, but you also don't own the game, so you can never like go back and play it unless you resub to Game Pass. That's the thing, and that's what George just said. It definitely depends on how many $70 games they add. So that's the answer to your question, George. If like 36 of those 76 games they release is great, that's awesome. But still, if they are not like a $70 game or like a $50 plus game like Expedition 33, then you don't exactly feel the benefit of Game Pass, because if it's $30 or less, then you kind of feel like you might as well just buy the thing if that's what you're going to use your month on. And that's where I come back to, it's worth it to people if they have no life and they could just play games like crazy. Uh-oh. Did my camera just turn off, or are we good? I think we're good. So that's, I want to put up a poll to you watching. How many hours do you spend gaming each month? Averagely. Okay, averagely. I don't know how to spell averagely, apparently. So I'm going to say, and feel free to answer in the chat too. So let's say 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours, 40 hours plus. You know what? Let's add 5 to these, because I'm curious. Let's add 5 to these. 25, 35, 45. Genuinely kind of think about it, because that's the question, and that's where it comes in, because I feel like if you are not in the 45 plus hour tier, then there's no point of even thinking about Game Pass Ultimate. If you're not gaming for at least 45 hours a month, then you shouldn't even think about it. Unless it's a really short game like Hellblade. You know, if Hellblade's like 40 or 50 bucks and it comes to Game Pass day one, then yeah, you probably can get that done in like 12 hours and have time to explore something else. But you really will only have time to play a super short game. C2 gave some answers earlier about the multiplayer question. Multiplayer gamers have to pay $10 a month already for Game Pass Essential. Okay. To get online access, so it's only $20 more a month for them to get day ones, is what I was saying. Yeah. Correct. But yeah, George, I'm with you on I think it just depends on how many $70 games they add. And who knows? Maybe that's the plus side of this. Maybe they have that in mind. Maybe they intend to just invest even more and bring more like big titles to the service, like Kingdom Hearts 4 day one in Game Pass. Like, but I don't believe that, but I could be wrong. All right, Lawl's got one. Ooh, we have to do the thing. I appreciate. I want to do this sometimes, and I hope it doesn't limit me. Let's do it.
I disagree. If the indies are there, it's the lowest risk way to try them near to release. AAA quality doesn't equate to AAA budget. No one else comes close to the consistency of output of Game Pass.D.
It's of .D. Of .D. All right. No, like, so, and thanks for just saying I disagree, man, like, because that's totally fine. So if indies are there, it's the lowest risk way to try them, because that's true. Like, because yeah, like that's how I've played so many indies. Like Game Pass is the thing that got me to try so many indies, and some of them are some of my favorite games of all time. So you're right on that. But what I mean is, like, if they're long, which is pretty rare. Usually indie games, they're like under 15 hours. But like if they're pretty long, like if can one fit 2 Silk songs in if they're in this poll and they voted 25 hours? You know, if they voted 25 hours, can they play 2 Silk songs a month? Because they're going to have to play 2 Silk songs to really like justify the price. That's what I kind of question, Lowell. Because I agree, like I that's what I love Game Pass for, is that's why it's like I wish the price wouldn't be as high as it was and they got rid of these Ubisoft and Fortnite things. Because again, if you just joined, I was telling everybody I think the price is very fair. It's a fair price for what they're offering, but the value isn't really there because a lot of people like me and everything, like they don't play Fortnite, they don't care to play the old Ubisoft stuff, they don't care to play the old EA stuff. They just want to play those indies you're talking about. They just want to play the first-party Xbox titles. They just want to do Call of Duty in. But now they're forced to pay for this Fortnite, Ubisoft, and EA benefit that they're not going to use. But yeah, AAA quality doesn't equate to AAA budget. No one else comes close to consistency of output of Game Pass. Seriously, this is the year that Game Pass finally nailed what I think like Phil Spencer, whoever thought of it, wanted it to be. Like, this was the year. You got freaking Doom, you got freaking South of Midnight, you got Tony Hawk, you got Gears of War Reloaded, you got Avowed, you got Grounded, you got Outer Worlds 2, you got a new Call of Duty, you got, it just like goes on and on in terms of their first party output, and maybe that's what Keeper, and that's what we always wanted Xbox to get to, and now that they're there, and they added these benefits, you know, again, on paper, the price is fair. It's just not fair to us to be forced to pay for what's included on it that we just aren't going to use. And I think that the indie games are going to suffer for that, because if somebody subscribes to Game Pass, so here's a great example. This is a great example. If somebody subscribes to Game Pass to play, let's just talk about this year's Expedition 33. Okay, so this year's Expedition 33. They're debating, should I buy this game or should I just get a month of Game Pass and play it? The debate is basically if they could get this game done in a month, because if they don't, then they're going to have to pay for another month. And then that's going to take what was a $50 game to a $60 area that they're paying $10 extra for, and they're not going to own the game anymore. That's what I mean. It's just $30 introduces this whole question of like, if I play this $20 game that is Silksong or Deep Rock Galactic Survivor or Void Breaker, if I play this $20 indie game using this $30 subscription, is that the most like efficient use of my money? And that's what I think a lot of people have the right to be questioning. And that's what a lot of people are questioning. It's like, is that the most efficient use of my time and money? Or should I just cancel the month and buy freaking Silksong so I could take my time with it? So I'd love to know what you think of that, Lowell. But I super duper hear you. Like, indies has been a great way to discover through Game Pass. But now it's like, it almost feels like we should be going towards these games that are like $70 because we're paying like less than half price to play it that month. And it's way more of like a monetary payoff. That's why I totally agree with George earlier. It definitely depends on how many $70 games they add. That's pretty much it. George, Game Pass made me play games I would have never bought. Same here, George. And C2, this is a combination of acquisitions and Game Pass growth being nowhere near their projections, so it's going to get worse from here. I want to do it. C2, you earned the thing. You earned the thing.
This is a combination of acquisitions and Game Pass growth being nowhere near their projections, so it's only going to get worse from here.
What I wonder, because you absolutely could be right, But the crazy thing is that I feel like this was done in success instead of failure. And that's the scary part. Because usually that's what you do as a business. You do stuff like this when things are going well. You don't do this when things aren't going well. You do this when things are going well. If you are a corporation or anything, that's what you do. And so the reason I say that is like we found out that Game Pass generated like $5 billion in revenue, which plug into my math video. That's what I predicted. That's what I like figured. I did the math and it's funny that it basically added up perfectly. Now, I do agree that Microsoft came in, and that's why like my original title for the stream was like Xbox is gone now and Microsoft gaming is back. And I hold true to that. And I'm gonna have like a full-blown video or a stream or something at some point reviewing what is going to be now 2 years of Activision Blizzard King being a part of Xbox. But a part of that discussion is that ever since then, Microsoft gaming took over Xbox gaming. And a lot of the decisions we've been seeing has been because of that. And the reason I bring this up to that response that C2 said about this is, you know, this is probably a result of the acquisitions and Game Pass not working. Again, corporations usually do stuff like this if things are working, and they boasted, yeah, Game Pass is profitable. We made $5 million last year from it. We got a massive boost in numbers from Call of Duty, and we also just topped the charts for PlayStation and have like in their top 10 most sold games, we have like 6 or 7 of our games there. And yeah, a couple of those are PlayStation established franchises, but we even added a couple that weren't, like Sea of Thieves and Forza, and they did phenomenal on PlayStation. Wow, we should keep up that strategy. And I think it's a combination of the Call of Duty boost that Game Pass got last year and it generating over $5 billion and the PlayStation sales. If we try to figure out why this happened, I don't think it's because of failure. I think it's because Xbox, or I should say Microsoft, was like, hey, we've been making a lot of money lately. Why is that? and freaking Phil, Matt, and Sarah had to go, we got a lot of subscribers because of COD. And we've been selling a lot on PlayStation. Cool. Let's make people want to buy more of our games on PlayStation. And let's raise the price of Game Pass before the next Call of Duty comes out. Sounds good? Sounds good. All right, bye, guys. I really think that's what happened. Because we're literally seeing this like the month before Call of Duty comes out. And Call of Duty does gangbusters. And I truly think this is not like a coincidence. Like the success that COD had on Game Pass last year was probably significant. And not only the rise of the console prices and Nintendo and the market and all that shit. There's a lot of reasons they did this. But I really think it's like, cool, even if we lose subscribers onto Game Pass, that's okay, because they'll still just end up buying our games instead, and we'll just make the money off of that back. But our most devoted peeps won't let go of Game Pass, even if we take like a 25% dip, and we're still gonna make the money. I hate to admit it, but I feel like they thought this through. I just feel like they could have presented it so much better. That would have, like, I don't know. I put up a short this morning that I think would have been the perfect strategy. You could have still released this $30 tier. You could even made it $35. But just make it its own tier. And then the $20 tier still exists, but it just doesn't have 1440p and EA. They could have did that. And it would have been perfect. Would have been perfect. But alas. But maybe that's also, that ruins that whole plan, is because if they kept the day one thing around, then it's like, then okay, wait, hold on. That middle tier in the video, they had this thing at the bottom that said excludes Call of Duty. They said for that middle tier of Game Pass, it excludes Call of Duty. What if you just excluded Call of Duty from the $20 tier and you lock that to the freaking executive tier? I'm not saying I'd be happy about that, but it's like, just figure out a way to keep that $20 tier there. Just figure out a way to keep the day one on Game Pass quote still a meaningful quote. Lawful Gamers game. Wait, I just want to keep using this voice whenever I get a longer message. Oops, shit. I just want to do it. I just think it's fun. I'm going to turn off the music for a bit.
Gamers Game. I can play and dip between multiple titles, add favorites to wish lists across all services, and quickly move away from dubs without the spending penalty of $70+ or pounds.
Yeah, no, so, and that's a true benefit to Game Pass, and now, especially with the whole Ubisoft, and well, that's really the only major new benefit, is yeah, if you're a sampler, if you just want to try out everything, I've told people Game Pass is like the best demo machine. There's no better demo machine than Game Pass. Now, if you have GameFly, great. But does GameFly let you try it the day of if you're in the mood? No, you have to wait for it to come to you and blah, blah, blah. And hell, you could even just stream it through the cloud gaming and just try it that way. Like, Game Pass, admittedly, is a great way to sample things. That is very true. Lowell, that's very true. But it's just, if one wants to complete games, then that's kind of a different story. We also got Patrick. I think the site's going to cut me off at some point and go, hey, you have to pay for this, dude. You have to pay for this. How come I can't copy and paste shit? I'm unplugging something. I know exactly why it's happening, and I'm unplugging it. Everything should be fine now. Dwayne's fine. Dwayne's fine.
Game Pass kind of sounds like it's turning gaming into a chore. You choose a game that sounds interesting, log your hours, and move on like a to-do list.
Patrick, 100%. I agree with that. 100%. Because that's really what it does feel like. Like this year, I took on a daunting challenge, which was, and granted, this was self-inflicted, but I took on the challenge of, I don't want to come up with a top 10 list at the end of the year. I want to rank every single game I play. And yeah, like Patrick, that's what happens when you're on Game Pass. It's like, you could just let it fly, spend your money and not even worry about it. But if you're like me, you don't got that much money. So you have to be a bit mindful about it. And so I'm trying to make sure I can beat this thing before the month, or try to be efficient with my time. And like, hey, I don't think I should start that game because I won't have enough time for it. And yeah, it becomes, at least if you want to use it efficiently, but like, you know, if you have but that's the thing. It's like $20. You could just, you know, it's okay if you blunder a bit, but $30, then it becomes like, oh my God, I gotta use this Ubisoft and blah, blah, blah. Like, for sure. Yeah. Lawel's back. Can I, oh, I see another one.
The best indies will lead the way to the promised land and refresh stagnating single-player experiences. Why else does everyone wait for AAA releases to reduce to indie prices?
I mean, this is a year, man. Like, that's a whole other conversation that I would love to have with you at some point. But yeah, like, this is the year of indies. Like, 2022, I want to say, was the last year of indies that we had such a staggering amount. But this year for indies, like, this is a year that indies actually say a message, man. Like, they really are sending a message to the whole industry, and I think it's awesome. And I'm so excited if this year we have freaking just either AA size budget games or indie titles just covering, like, Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's going to be part of the Game of the Year nominees. Again, we're going to have a conversation about this at some point. But I'm going to be so excited to see, like, Hades 2, Silk Song, Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Split Fiction. Split Fiction, yeah, EA, but it's like more of a AA and more sort of indie partner title. Kind of, yeah. So I'll be so excited to see those 5 nominated if they are, because that just sends a message. Like, Donkey Kong Bonanza will be the only one that's like, yeah, this is a super AAA title or whatever. It's got to be cool, man. It's got to be so cool. And following Astrobot winning and Baldur's Gate 3 winning, oh, it's got to be so cool. This comes from, come on, work. Why is it so on and off? This comes from Patrick. Englishman, come back.
It's hard to express my feelings correctly because it sounds like it's blurring the distinction between entertainment and work. At least how it's being explained to me.
Yeah. And that's the thing about Game Pass. Like, I do if Game Pass Ultimate was $20 and somebody asked me, is it worth it? I'd be like 100%. 100%. Sometimes it does feel like work and there's a bit too many choices. But if you just want to find a game that you might not have played before and just want to be able to play it for $20, then go for it. And you might have time to play something else while you're at it, or even just try a few things. Like, I think it's worth, if somebody's fine just trying a game for a couple hours and moving on, just to be able to say they tried Lies of P or whatever back in 2023, then yeah, Game Pass is going to be exactly that. And I do think like that's a more easier way to use Game Pass, where you just sample some stuff instead of trying to like beat everything. But yeah, sometimes it does feel like work. This is from C2 right here. If it'll play, C2. Oh, yes. I'm already reading it by mistake. Shit. When is this site going to cut me off? I feel like it's going to cut me off at some point. Come on. All right. Well, I've always... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I know. I'm about to join Patreon law.
I've always thought Microsoft are the least consumer-friendly of the three. I just don't say it here, because I'm not trying to antagonize your Xbox community.
Law.
There was like 2 voices that happened. Oh my God. Jissel, thank you very much for the dono. And I don't even know how you did the dono, because I don't have the donation link on YouTube, but that was a much more direct form of support. Thank you very much, even though you just don't want to become a member of the Patreon family. So I know, I understand, Jissel, you just don't want to get close with me. You don't want to hang out with me, and you don't want me to say thank you and stuff. You just want to throw money at me, and yeah, but I understand. You don't want to be friends. I understand, but I'm kidding. No, thank you so much, Jissel. That was a crazy dono. Thank you so much. That's crazy. But yeah, C2, I've always thought Microsoft are the least consumer-friendly of the three. I just don't say it. It's funny because, like, how would you rank them, C2? How would you rank them? Because that's interesting to me. But I don't know. Like, actually, no, maybe we don't have to dive into that. But you're not antagonizing anybody. To me, nobody's antagonizing anybody unless they make their opinions sound like fact. That's the only time, is if somebody makes their opinion sound like fact. Like Danny, Game Pass dead. I mean, no, that's a joke, but yeah, no, there's no antagonizing, and if anybody just gets ticked off, then I don't know. Patrick, that's it. Efficiency. They're promoting efficiency over entertainment. Efficiency, yes, that is. I wouldn't say they're promoting that, but it's just like, if you really want to get your money's worth, then yes, you do have to be a bit efficient. That is true. Why is this not working? My keyboard is not doing the copy and pasting. Okay, Lowell. I'm going to bring the music back for now while I figure out why this thing isn't working. Lowell, Game Pass reward points actively encourage you to play multiple titles per week. Don't fight it. The gaming buffet is open. Yeah, but then, Lowell, I wouldn't get anything done. I wouldn't get the credits to roll on anything I play if I'm just sampling a bunch. What do you think of that? C2, if Nintendo tries to utilize those patents, then they're worse. Dude, I have to admit, to me, like, again, everybody just has to emphasize it's their opinion rather than fact. To me, I don't see how anybody could think PlayStation or Nintendo is more anti-consumer than, or sorry, I don't see how anybody could think PlayStation or Xbox is more anti-consumer than Nintendo. I don't see how the frick anybody could think that, but that's just me. Like, to me, there's PlayStation and Xbox here, and Nintendo is way up here. Like I don't think there's even EA, Epic, Tencent, whoever, 2K, I don't think there's anybody more anti-consumer than Nintendo. And it sucks because they'll get away with it. That's the most frustrating part. They'll just get away with it. Just so we're all pals here. Yeah. And I think that's valid, George. Alex, I think all the subscriptions between the three are all garbage. Lol. Lol, if you're having fun, does rolling credits matter? No, like, yeah, lol, I'm not dismissing, like, one could love sampling and one could love rolling credits. There's really not a correct way. That's why I'm saying, like, you're using it pretty gosh darn efficiently. So, yeah, there's not really a right or wrong way to do it. I'm somebody that does like to roll credits on my games, though. So, that's just hard for me to do. Yeah, like right now. So, let's backpedal a little bit. So, what are we all playing? What are we all watching? Because lately, I've had this issue where I feel like I am playing way too many roguelikes. I played Voidbreaker a couple weeks ago. Freaking awesome game. Has anybody played Voidbreaker? I think that is like a standout to me this year. And it's just an early access, short-ass game. But yeah, I played Voidbreaker. It's a like first-person shooter roguelike. Then like a week or two later, I played Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. It's like a Vampire Survivor style thing, but in the Deep Rock Galactic universe, pretty good graphics, and there's all these bugs around in the mines and stuff. A roguelike. And now, last night, I started Hades 2. And it's like an over-top, you know, just kind of dungeon slaying, or dungeon crawler, I would call it, style roguelike. And it's just like, I feel like I'm playing too many roguelikes right now. And I don't feel like I get to really spend time and appreciate each of them if I'm like moving on to the next so fast. So yeah, like I just, to me, that again, that's just like, to me, I feel like I want to really finish a game unless it is multiplayer. Like rematch is like getting its shit out of me because it's a multiplayer. So I just jump in and do a match every now and then. That's the best to me. Like if I was a sampler, then it'd be strictly multiplayer. But if it's a single player thing, I want to roll credits. Like I can't imagine starting Expedition 33 just to try it and then trying something else. Like I would be pissed. If I did that, I would go to myself and go like, you idiot. All right. Alex has a question that hopefully my copy and paste thing works. Let's see if it does.
I have a question because I didn't understand the bullet points on the Game Pass store. What is the difference between the $10 Game Pass and the $30?
Let's see if we can find it. Alex, it's pretty simple though. Just basically the $10 one is just it's just basically online, and you get over 50 games, which is pretty cool. And the $30 one, you get like Fortnite Crew, you get Ubisoft, you get EA, you get day one launches, you get cloud gaming. Well, they all have cloud gaming now, but anyways. So yeah, basically this is the $10 one, Alex, where you'll get a catalog of 50 plus games, and you get to basically get online console multiplayer. That's pretty much it. The $30 one, you'll get over 400 games, which also includes the Ubisoft Classics and EA Play games. So you get a lot of older EA and Ubisoft games, including 75 plus day one games a year, which we discussed, and the Fortnite Crew thing. So that's the difference there. And then this premium option, which is $15 a month, is kind of like a middle ground, but you don't get Ubisoft, you don't get EA, you don't get Fortnite. And now that I look at this, honestly, it's like, if you really don't need day one games, then the premium tier is where it's at. Because you'll still get to play, like, it says new Xbox published games within a year of launch. So in the next month, maybe, you'll be able to play Avowed, because Avowed came out in February, you know? So you'll be able to play that. And that's why, like, looking at this, it's like, are they trying to just get the... But the problem is that over 55% of subscribers were subscribed to Ultimate. There is numbers on that. And I just feel like it's because of the day ones. Because if if it was for the backlog, then they would just get freaking PlayStation Plus, because there's more back catalog games on that. The big benefit to Xbox is the day one enticement. And if the day one enticement is that expensive, then people are not going to be as into it. So, C2, did you finish the Hades run? I didn't see if you answered that when I asked earlier. No. Well, I mean, I don't know what you mean by finished run, but I'm going to guess no. George, I played Expedition 33 twice, got all the achievements, and have struggled to start another single-player game. So, some single-player games will do that to you, man. Did you finish Silksong? I haven't even touched Silksong. I made a choice. I was like, do I play Silksong or do I play Hades 2? And what did the community say? I actually asked you guys, like, just hypothetically, if one was to choose, which should they do? And yeah, I chose Hades 2. Even though, look at that close race. Look at that close race. But I chose Hades 2 because Battlefield 6 is coming up, Keeper and stuff, and it's like October's crazy, and I have a feeling like if whichever one of these I choose, I am not going to beat it in time for all the October madness. And because of that, it's like if I don't finish it, then I feel like Silksong is one of those games that you really want to play from start to finish. Like you can't just put it down for a month and come back so easily because of like the backtracking and Metroidvania and puzzle solving and also like learning the technique and stuff. But I feel like Hades 2 is a bit more like forgiving if you take a long break. So yeah. That is what I did. Wait, Creature, if you do play Night Rain, can I have Super as a teammate? Super's just the teammate, man. 33 Immortals. 33 Immortals, man. See, that's another, like, just multiplayer games, man. Like, I don't know. Why can't I copy and paste this? There's another question. If anybody asks a question, then I'm going to make the speaker announce it.
Are the 400 plus games hidden on Game Pass? That's what confuses me.
You can look. There's the catalog. You can look at it, Alex. Pass catalog. Yeah, you could still just browse Xbox Game Pass games and explore 500 plus games. Browse all games. Yeah, they're not hidden, which I appreciate. I hate it when freaking subscription services are like, oh, you can only see it if you're subscribed. Looking at you, Netflix. But no, you could totally check, like, hey, is the first Hollow Knight on here? You could search it. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So you totally have access to see the list, whether you're subscribed or not. Is there a list of games included with premium? Radish, is there a list of what's included with premium? Yeah, you could just go to their site and they have this organized pretty well. You could just look at PC Game Pass or first tier or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like you could organize it pretty good. So this is the stuff that's available with premium. So yeah, that's not like a hidden thing or anything like that. And that's the great part is that you could check beforehand and then, decide if that's going to be worth it to you. Alex, I can't believe you said snooze song. Everybody attack this man. I'm kidding. I'm getting winded. It's been an hour. I should be wrapping up, but I'm just happy to be talking with you guys. But everybody at Gissel, if she's still here, and thank her, because she and the patron fam are the sponsors to this stream, and she refuses to be a sponsor. She be an indirect sponsor. C2 has a question.
How do you feel about games with gold dying? PlayStation still has the equivalent of that, which I value a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point, C2. Like way back in the day, does anybody remember games with gold? It's very similar to what PlayStation still does, where it's like every month, they kind of basically give PlayStation Plus subscribers a free game. Like, and you just download that and that's your game now, as long as you downloaded it during that month. That's pretty freaking cool. And yeah, I miss games with gold, but I could see why they got rid of it. I don't know. I don't necessarily miss it because this whole conversation about ownership, but like in reality, I would much rather get like the 50 plus games catalog that comes with the base membership than to potentially get something that I'll own forever that I'll probably never get to. So I don't know. I'm pretty indifferent about it. I wish it was still around, but I'm also not too hurt about it. Noah, as a person playing Silksong right now, yes, my life is Silksong right now. Did you try the 2KXO beta? No, I didn't. I'm not too much of a fighting game person, but yeah. Oh, camera's gone. Camera's gone. Maybe that's a sign that we have to stop. I'll get the webcam though. Again, everybody thank Jissel. She sponsored this stream. And I should do at least 1 or 2 of the goals because of her. But I am going to... Let me... Hang on, I'm going to show you this while we do this. So what did Jissel get done? $20. So 3, 7... Okay, so these 4. So which of these 4 would you like to see me do? I don't know if I have time to do all of them. And plus, I don't even know if she's still here. Jissel, you're still here? Oh, she is. I saw her earlier. Ha ha ha. I don't know if anybody's interested in any of these. I had these ideas for super chat goals if they just like kept escalating. And this one would this bottom one would legitimately become a video. But let me see if I can bring myself back. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Do I have my regular camera? Oh, I don't think I do. I mean, there I am, but as you can see, there's problems. I have to crouch. And then, hold on, I can fix it. I can fix it. I'm Bob the Builder. We can fix it. And then, oh, wait, why did it go back? I didn't do that. Yeah, that's the next thing I need to figure out with this camera is like, how do I just get infinite power out of it? So that's another task I need to figure out. Apply, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, my old webcam. All right. So we can go back to this. Oh, wait, I need to get copy. Paste. Wait, no, this isn't where we, there we go. Paste. What are you guys saying? Talk to Palpatine? What do you mean? Paste. There we are. There we are. There we are. There we are. And then we go like what? And then we go like what? And then we go like blah. Okay, we'll do that for now. Whatever. Penis. All right. All right. Anyway, yeah. Is there any of these ideas you would like to do besides talk to Palpatine? Because I don't want to do that. PC Game Pass is cheaper too. Oh yeah, PC Game Pass is hands down like the one. Like that is the. If you're a PC gamer, just do PC Game Pass. Just do that. Even though it got raised by like $4, still worth it. Super still worth it. Especially if that's your primary game place you play. Only if it's the primary place you play. If it's not, then forget about it. Epic Games does this for free. Does what for free? Giveaway Fortnite crew. Jissel's still here. C2. I didn't sub to PS Plus Extra until there were 5 or 6 games on there I wanted to play, so I'd probably need a similar amount for Game Pass. That's a great idea. Yeah, C2, like that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I kind of wanted to hop on PS Plus Extra last month or this month to play Sword of the Sea. Sword of the Sea? Yeah, Sword of the Sea. But I'm like, is there something else that came there that I could play? And I don't know. So yeah, I could see that. But I do want to say, and this is where I might get a little bit mean. I don't mean to sound mean. It's just I know the way it's going to come out is going to sound mean, and I don't mean it offensively. I think it's absolute bullshit whenever I hear anybody say, there's just nothing on Game Pass I want to play. While that is technically true, that also means you're extremely close-minded. And that's why I'm saying, I'm sorry that's going to sound really mean. I acknowledge that. It's going to sound mean, but it's to me, it's true. I'm adding that phrase, to me. To me, it's true. Because if there's 400 plus games on this service that you just are saying, I have zero interest in these 400 plus games, that's not true. It's more so that there's not a game on there that I was already interested in. There's a different way to phrase it, and I want to figure that out. Because I know what they're saying. They don't mean it like that. But there's just a better way of saying it than there's nothing on Game Pass that I'm interested in. There has to be a better way of phrasing it. Like, I haven't dug into what's on Game Pass. And until I do that, to my knowledge, I don't know any games that I'm interested in. I don't know. There's an easier way to do it, but I don't know how to do it. It's like, I never say there's nothing on PlayStation Plus I'm interested in, because that's just not true. I just haven't bothered to look. I just haven't bothered to spend like an hour or two looking at trailers and titles and seeing what their reviews are. I never say that because I just haven't done the work into looking into it. But I know for a fact there is. I know for a fact there's stuff on PS Plus I'd be interested in. But I just haven't done the work to really find that ideal title. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to make anybody feel hurt or like defensive or anything, but it's just it's like one of those quotes that gets me where there's just nothing on Game Pass that's interesting. I'm like, bullshit. You haven't spent the time to look into it. That's fair. I'm not downplaying anybody that hasn't done that. It's just, we need to find a way to phrase it like that instead. I just haven't looked into Game Pass enough. I'll admit it. I haven't looked into PS Plus enough. I admit it. But anyway, sorry. That's a whole tangent of mine. No disrespect to C2 or anybody else, but yeah. But anyway, but Keebs is one with the digital world. Did anybody get Digimon, by the way? Anybody hit that? All right. I didn't see you guys choose one of these. So, let's see. And C2. That's why I generally do Gamefly. It's $13 for the budget plan, and I can grab any game that has a physical edition. And yeah, serious shout out to Gamefly, C2. Like, I really thought Gamefly died. I'm so glad it's still around because I think that's an awesome concept for something. I thought Jis was choosing. No, I just said thank her because she made it possible. So, but no, just everybody can just kind of pick and choose one of these. And I think I'm going to go after that. I mean, we kind of talked about the $1 one, the live breakdown of the $1 one. It's just simply like, I kind of broke that down verbally, but, I could like illustrate it. I basically want to put together like a document to explain what I mean by any of these. I see one for the $2 one for the $4 one. I guess it felt those first that $2 and $4 ones are fun. These are all fun. Like I would love to do all these. These are really fun. Again, if you feel like supporting the stream, then please feel free. I really appreciate it, but I am winding myself, but that's just because I'm having so much fun with you guys. Oh, I need to raise my computer up. Just wants the 2, so go with the 2. That's fair. She did sponsor it. Wait. But we have to do the thing. Why is my copy and pasting with my keyboard not working? My copy and pasting with the keyboard is not working. I don't know why. And I unplugged what I thought would be the reason. Oh, you can't even paste! I can't even paste! What's going on? What's going on? There we go. Wait. Samantha or some. Oh shit. No. No. Stop.
Naming games I felt Game Pass was most worth it.
This is a good one. I love this. I love this one. So games that I played that I felt Game Pass was most worth it. There's one that I feel like you guys, if you look back, you will be able to recall if you've watched my videos over the years. Other than that one, but I don't mean quality. That's the thing I want to emphasize. I don't mean like this was one of my best games of all time and I felt like you know, like I'm so grateful to Game Pass that I got to experience this. That's different. I'm talking about like, wow, I got to experience something that like I can't believe how much money I saved for experiencing something this like big feeling, if that makes sense. It's like, it's not the same thing as quality. It's more so like, wow, this was like monetarily wise, this was value. So that's kind of what I mean. But feel free to take guesses or share yours. I'm very curious. To a T, Doom is the real answer. And what was the thing it said? It said naming games I felt Game Pass was most worth it. Okay. And I'm gonna end this poll. We've had 20 votes. So for the poll on how many hours do you spend gaming each month? It's pretty tied. That's interesting. It's like 20, 20, 15 for 15 hours, 25 hours, 35 hours. And then it jumps 45%, say 45 plus hours. So I could see that. Like, that's where I sit. Like, I probably game. I mean, it depends on the month. Sometimes it is 35 hours, but I'm usually like 5 to 10 hours a week. So it can become like, you know, it could be 20 hours in the month. It could be 50 hours in the month or whatever. So that's usually where I sit. But anyway. Okay, yeah. So I wanted to do that so I could see your chats. So let's make this bold and big and Poppins because it's the best, yo. And I just want to copy and paste this. Okay, so games I felt Game Pass was most worth it. And I would love to see your answers to this question because genuinely, it's a very interesting question. Like moments that I really felt like, wow, this was a steal. Like this was a month that Game Pass, I saved a lot of money. I played a really quality game and like I might have time to spare maybe because it was a quality game that was like maybe 15 hours and I had time to do more. You know, it just gave me that feeling of like, damn, this really made Game Pass feel like it was a worthy get this month. Supertone. While not there anymore, I may not have played Lies of P without Game Pass, as I didn't even know about it. It's in my top 5 favorite games. Supertone. That's probably number 1. I don't mean to rank these, but yeah, Lies of P is the first one I think of. That was like a $50 or $60 game. I can't remember at the time. It was like a $50 or $60 game. And you got it with Game Pass, which was $20 at the time, I think. Maybe actually still 15. When did the price raise happen? I think that was at the early part of last year. So it might have still been $15. Point is, it was 15 or $20. But Lies of P was a game that I managed to get done like just about the month. And man, Lies of P was a freaking killer game. Like it wasn't a masterpiece or nothing, but the quality was there and it felt like the amount of time investment too was like a solid like 20, 30 hour game. And like there's reason to maybe replay it and it felt AAA, but it wasn't. And like that is easily the first one that comes to mind. And I said that, for 2023 when I was talking about my games of the year of like Lies of P is my Game Pass game this year. Of just all the games I played, Lies of P was hands down like the most justifiable Game Pass value. What's another one though? Like that's admittedly like the only one I'm like, damn. Like a few come to mind, but I'm kind of just like, Immortality, Cocoon, The Forgotten City, all hidden gems. Fantastic games. Fantastic games you just named, Lowell. Like Cocoon specifically. I loved Cocoon. I'm still surprised Tales of Arise was on Game Pass. See, like if I played Tales of Arise, I would put it in that category. I just remembered one. Persona 3 Reload. That was last year. I played my first ever Persona game. Now, granted, yes, it was a remake. You know, it was an older game. But boy, it got so much time out of me, and maybe that's a problem. Like, it just barely makes this list because it was one of those games that pushed into the following month. But that said, even though it did bleed into the following month with how long it was like freaking 100 hours when I was done with it. It was so freaking awesome. And it was a $70 game at the time, I think. And again, I got to play it for freaking, we'll call it $30 because it bled into the next month. But I got to play it for like half off, basically. And that was freaking sick. I'm going to also say Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is another example, and you might be starting to notice the whole trend here. Diablo 4, another 60 or 70. I think that was a $70 game. But when that was literally the thing. Like when Xbox bought Activision Blizzard, I was like, I need this deal to close so I could hopefully play Diablo 4 on Game Pass. I need this to close so I could freaking play Diablo 4 on Game Pass. And it did close, and it took a long time, and we're still dealing with a lot of things that are a long time. But Diablo 4, when it did come, I played the shit out of it last year. I put more time into Diablo 4 than any other game last year. That was crazy. So that one for sure, I'm like, that might have been one of those things that it's like, was it really worth it though? Because you played it beyond the first month. There's a lot of content in that game. So I don't care. I'm putting it on the list. For this year, I see George going, the month of Expedition 33 and Doom would be mine. Like, that was a fantastic month. Like, I'm not listing months because there's some months that Game Pass was like super worth it. Freaking last month, peak month. I played Hurdling. I played Citizen Sleeper 2. I played Rematch. I played some great shit last month. And you're right. There's that period where freaking Expedition 33, South of Midnight, and Doom the Dark Ages, all three of those came out in a 30-day window, and that was insane. But hands down, Expedition 33. Because again, $20 subscription at the time, $50 game. And it wasn't a $50 game that like grinded the hell out of me like Persona 3 Reload and Diablo 4. No, it's actually like if you put 30 hours into it, it's a solid like 30-hour experience that you could get everything, get the credits to roll and be good, you know, and then you just have an entire post game to tackle that'll probably take another 30 hours. And like, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, like this year, Expedition 33 was like the prime example of like, holy shit, I got this with Game Pass. That's crazy. It's really like Eliza P. It really is. It's like, I know this isn't a AAA game, but it feels like it is. And I got a lot out of it too in terms of like gameplay time that was really high quality. Yeah, I would say Expedition 33 for sure. Let me see what you guys are saying. Goddamn Dan. Arcane's Prey. No fanfare and supposed low sales deterred me until it was free on Game Pass. I played Prey a couple years ago, and sadly, like, it didn't grab me, but I think I learned that's just because I'm really particular with first-person, what do you call them, sim games? I'm not sure what to call them, but yeah, it's a sick game, but just didn't grab me. Lowell, Forza Horizon 5 has the most played hours from me via Game Pass. Yeah, George, I forgot about South of Midnight. The game was beautiful. I loved it. Man, shout out to South of Midnight. I think South of Midnight is going to be one of those games this year that, like, people are going to forget came out. But South of Midnight was a good game. I in my opinion, I think South of Midnight was a good game. And it doesn't deserve to be in Game of the Year conversation or anything like that. But it was a solid release that I think a lot of people are going to forget about that really doesn't deserve to be forgotten. Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones had a lot of content. And that did feel like a AAA game. Like, I haven't... Yeah, Indiana Jones. Yeah, Indiana Jones Great Circle, that's a really good shout, because that was a really quality game, too, and like the newest game from Machine Games, who Wolfenstein and everything. But Indiana Jones, like, even though that wasn't... Like, I was a little bit late to it, and it didn't make my top 10, by the time I finished it, I was kind of like, wow, I'm really surprised I got this because of Game Pass. Again, like, if you pay attention to this list, like, I could also say Doom the Dark Ages. Doom the Dark Ages is another one that I'm just like, damn, man, like, Great Circle and Doom, they're not, like, favorites of mine, but when I played them and as I was playing them, I'm like, I can't believe I'm playing this for 20 bucks. And I'm like getting to enjoy it, and I didn't pay the full $70 price tag to play it. I just have it because I have Game Pass. That's kind of what this list is. This list isn't like the best games I've played with Game Pass. They're just games that I felt like were well beyond the price tag that really made me like, damn, that's crazy I got to play this. Sea of Thieves back when Game Pass first came out. You know, like, Sea of Thieves is a good shout. Like, overall, because Sea of Thieves, that's a potential game that could keep somebody subscribed to Game Pass. And yeah, like, I think that was one of their first major first-party titles that came to Game Pass day and date. I could be wrong. I don't remember if they, like... I don't think they started with day one releases. Maybe, I could be wrong. But yeah, Sea of Thieves, like... Yeah, Sea of Thieves is a great example of, like, this isn't AAA, but it feels like I could be here forever. Lol, I had the base and was waiting for the DLC to drop in price. In terms of Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition also just came... You're lying. No, you're lying. No freaking way. You can't say that. Hold on. This is actually going to be a live reaction. I don't believe you, Lowell. I don't believe you. Because if you're telling the truth, I'm fucked. I did not want to play Cyberpunk, but if that's on Game Pass now... You liar! You freaking liar! Okay, anyway. Why did you do that? Why would you do that to me? I'm like, there's no way. Like, I know they got Witcher 3 at one point, but Cyberpunk 2077, hell no, they wouldn't do that. Anyway, we can't trust Lowell anymore, gang. All right, yeah, so... There's got to be something else, because I think, again, like, I think of Cocoon, Undertale, Celeste. I think of a lot of, like, fantastic indie games I played, but I was more so just grateful to Game Pass for letting me play those games. You know, like, that was a time that, like I could put those on, because if I did that, then there'd be numerous indie games that I was really grateful that I played. But I'm thinking of games that, like, made Game Pass feel super justifiable because they provided something that is priced way more. And maybe this is the point. Maybe this is the point that I was bringing up, is that, like, if Xbox Game Pass is going to be $30 now, then they have to drop shit like this. They have to drop experiences like this that make it feel like, damn, for $30, I got to play Lies of P. Damn, for $30, I got to play Expedition 33. Damn, for $30, I got to play Doom the Dark Ages. Like, that's what I'm saying. But when it's an indie title like Celeste, Undertale, and such, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great because I got to experience that game, but it's like, it feels more like I used my month to try that it's just a different feeling, man. It's just a different feeling to me. So I don't know. Gears 5. Gears 5 actually was the first game, actually. That was the reason I have to put that on this list, actually, because Gears 5, that was the thing that put me on Xbox Game Pass, actually. That's what it was. I'm remembering now. That's what it was. Xbox Game Pass launched in 2017, but it was just kind of like a catalog of games that people could play. And then I think in 2019, that's when they announced that their first party stuff is going to be coming to day one release to Game Pass Ultimate. That's what it was. That's what it was. And because of that, like Gears 5 was my first game. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I could buy Gears 5 to play it or just subscribe to Game Pass. And you know what I did? I subscribed to Game Pass because I didn't play Gears of War 4. So I subscribed and I played Gears of War 4 to go into Gears 5. So I played a twofer. I got to play both the Gears games over the course of like a month or two instead of spending like $120 to play them. So that was definitely like, that's actually a founding core memory to me getting on Game Pass, actually. And Lowell, it appeared in my streaming xCloud library. Yeah, because that probably means that I had the base and I was waiting for the DLC to drop in price. Yeah, so Cyberpunk is available to stream. It's like thanks to Creature, I own Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I can stream that. That's what it was. You already owned it, so you could stream it. Because you could do that now. You can own Xbox games. You could stream Xbox games that you own. At least a good deal of them. I want to get the speaker to do... Why can I not copy and paste? I don't understand. Why can I not copy and paste? I think my... I think it's just my mouse is being weird and shit. Wait, this is a drill sergeant. Stop. Stop! Stop! Why can I not do this? Paste, for the love of God. I want to see C2's thing.
One last note on Game Pass. There was an article this morning on Bloomberg saying they lost $300 million worth of sales on Call of Duty, putting it in Game Pass, which is partially what led to this.
I want to see this article. That'd be interesting.
The article is subscriber locked from an employee that didn't want to be named, but I do think it's worth noting because it's Bloomberg.
Let's find this article. Wait, let me finish this list really quick. Okay, we'll come back to this. Yeah, because that's really interesting if true. Because, yeah, they boasted about, like, this is the biggest COD ever, and it's super successful, and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure the article exists, and I just can't open. There we go. Excuse me. Bloomberg. Xbox's hike on Game Pass shows cost of lost sales. I should just have the reader do it. Xbox division surprised many video game enthusiasts this week when the company announced we're starting a big streaming push. It's still not generating the revenue. Okay, the company's putting some of its top titles in the streaming service. So the people who asked not to be identified, discussing internal company matters. Xbox gave up more than $300 million in sales of Call of Duty on console and PCs last year, according to one of the former employees who asked not to be identified. They said Game Pass hasn't delivered the explosive growth Microsoft anticipated post-Activision, and they've realized their infrastructure costs don't align with their pricing model, said June Van Verdam, founder of the video game analyst from Debrada. Just skimming here. According to former employees, said that move was controversial internally. Developing new games can take years and cost hundreds of millions of dollars. And the model had long been to sell them for 60 to 70 each, making more still on upgrades and game purchases. The Game Pass streaming model upended that by putting so many in an all-you-can-eat subscription. I don't know. I guess there's just that quote. So, if true, Xbox gave up more than $300 million in sales of Call of Duty on consoles and PCs last year. That is fascinating. One of the former employees who asked not to be identified. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that's because of Game Pass for sure. Like, obviously, it wasn't going to be the most sold COD, but I'm curious if. Let's do a little illustration here. So, let's really quick. We're gonna come back to this and finish this, but let's say so 300 mil sales. Okay. What if they got a boost of 2 million subs to Ultimate because of Call of Duty? That's probably a lot. We could probably, let's bring that down actually a little bit. 1.5 million subs because of Call of Duty. All right, fine, 1 million. 1 million new subs because of Call of Duty. It's probably, I don't know how many people, because I forgot, I did a whole math video about this where I did have an actual idea of how much subscribers, like the boost happened. I forgot, so maybe I should just check that video. Maybe it was 2 million. I don't know, but we'll just stick with 1 million for now. And that is $20. That equals, I mean, that's 20 million. So yeah. That's far less. And I think the idea was hopefully that those numbers would just retain. But yeah, that would definitely do it. Like, even if it was double, then it'd be 40. But if true, if that is true, Xbox gave up more than 300 million ago. I mean, I don't know. Like, you got to take that with a grain of salt. I could picture it. I know they definitely probably lost a good deal of sales, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of potential twists and turns to it, but who knows? The Insomniac leak said the same thing about Sony putting Horizon to PS Plus. That's why they wait so long now. Yeah. Well, they didn't do that right away, right? I thought that was like 6 months to a year later. But maybe you mean like they wait even longer now? ? Anyways, yeah. We gotta get out of here. But yeah. Initially, these are the ones that come to mind in terms of games I felt Game Pass was most worth it. I feel like there's obvious ones that I'm missing. Like, I felt like Avowed, even though Avowed wasn't like the experience that I wanted, I still feel like that is a game that's worth $50+. Balatro, if you played it, it was like $5 though. I could have just bought it, like, that's what I'm saying. These are not the best games. These are the games that I saved a shit ton of money that were also super quality. George, I'm blanking on some. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying is, like, it's great that they added Hogwarts Legacy, which is really cool, by the way. Like, I'm actually really tempted to play that, but they have to add more stuff like that. That's day one. If they're gonna do this price raise, then unfortunately the indie games I feel like are gonna suffer unless they're short, and you could get like 2 of them in, and then that's kind of worth it. But if you're just gonna they got to bring like the AAA $70 stuff in, and that's why, like, at some point it'd be great to speculate about this. I think C2 was saying this, like, predicting crazy partner releases on Game Pass next year. Like these two alone could be a great video. But yeah, I can't think of other stuff that was like, because I think the main thing that I get value out of Game Pass is when I play so many things back to back. You gonna play Balatro? No. Grounded 2 again. I like Grounded 2 is a cool get, but don't know if like you can get it for $30. Like that's the price of the membership. Like I guess you get where I'm going with this. Like I didn't want to say it right off the bat, but basically it's like, oh, what's a $40 plus game that came to Game Pass that it was like, oh my God, I am so glad I got to hit that and not call it back. All right, anyway. I can't think of any others. Like, I genuinely feel like these are the ones. I mean, honestly, Black Ops 7. Like, it might sound crazy, but I thought, or sorry, Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6, I thought was a super complete package. C2, you like Call of Duty campaign, so I guess that. No, I don't. Like, well, I do, yeah, but I never bought them. Black Ops 7 was, or 6, damn it. 6 was actually easily for this list because when I played that really felt like a complete experience. Whether one wants to call it AAA or not, whatever. I just felt like, it was well polished. It had a solid 10-hour campaign that kept me entertained throughout. The multiplayer had so many different ways to go about it. I really, still to this day, going back to the whole multiplayer conversation, I could have played zombies way more than I did. Yeah, like I thought that was a really complete package of a game, and it deserved a lot of the praise that it got. A lot of people were saying like this is the best COD since the Modern Warfare 2 remake, or Modern Warfare 1 remake. Sorry, and I'm like, yeah, like this is a solid game. Alex will never buy a Call of Duty game again. Cool. Up to you. Shadow drop on the service, I should say. Oh, you know what? One last one. I just want to check how much it is. Hi-Fi Rush, man. Hi-Fi Rush. Man, that's only a $30 game, but dude, like it definitely felt AA, but it's like those indies, man. Like honorable mention to Hi-Fi Rush. Ninja Gaiden 4 isn't out yet. Man, when I played that was like, yeah, I'm just going to put that on. Like, that was one of those games that I'm just like, I can't believe I got to play this. Like, I probably would have not have bought this game. And at the time, it was like, I guess it was $30 or whatever. Still cheaper than what the Game Pass subscription was. And it just seemed like such a freaking cool game. Done by one of their first party peeps that I felt like I was playing the first entry to a franchise. Like this felt like a game that needs to become a franchise. I need to see this game get like sequels. This deserves to become a franchise. And that's why it's so crazy that they freaking closed the studio and sold it off. Like that was so stupid. That was so stupid. You want to talk about the whole Perfect Dark shit? No, Hi-Fi Rush. That was hands down. I'm going to argue that. We should do that at some point. Ranking the worst decisions from Xbox of the series era. To me, no question. Selling off Hi-Fi Rush, all that shit, that is the number one, like, why did you do that? I literally can't figure out why you did that. I could explain everything else you've done. That is the only one that I cannot give any kind of an explanation. Microsoft acquiring studios and shutting them all down is why they're the worst to me. Yeah. Well, but that's business practice. Because C2 earlier, you were like, I think they're the most anti-consumer. Like, I don't know about anti-consumer, but behind the scenes, yes, that's a very different story that I could fully like see somebody thinking for sure. So yeah, I'll go with these. These are probably the 10 games that I felt Game Pass was the most worth it. Not really in particular order. If I did put them in particular order, I'd probably put Lies of P and Expedition 33 at the top. But yeah, these are definitely games that it's like, you could do that today. Like if you subscribe for $30 today, I personally feel like any of these 10 would justify you subscribing. And Hi-Fi Rush just barely makes the list because, yeah, it would be the price of the subscription, but it's not that long of a game. It's a really special game that's like 15 hours maybe. And then, you could just have time to play something else that month. that actually would apply to a couple of these too. Like Gears 5, you could get a lot out of the multiplayer, and Black Ops 6 same. But Doom Dark Ages, you could probably get that done in like 15 hours and have like a solid just playthrough experience with it. But anyway, yeah, that's what I would say my list is. Lol, just got out of bed to check my xCloud for Cyberpunk, no DLC. But you will, you can buy the DLC, lol, and then you could play it through xCloud. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. There's just no Game Pass thing. Anyways, final cons before we go, because I'm getting very winded. And yeah. Shout out to Jissel. Thank you for the very much for the $20 super chat. How did you do that, by the way? Did you just go to my Twitch thing? Because I don't have my donation button on YouTube, which I should, but I just decided, you know what? If anybody wants to support, then they could just do the super chat, even though YouTube takes a huge chunk of it. I've said that many times, but it doesn't really matter usually to folks. It's just easier, so it's like, you know what? Just any support is great support. Yeah, any final words before we dive into our weekend? Jissel, I had it bookmarked. Oh, that's nice, Jissel. Thank you for being my... Oh, this camera's off. Thank you for being my all might this stream. Really appreciate it. Have we been streaming for 2 hours? Are you serious? It's been 2 hours? Wow. Time flies, man. Time flies when I'm having a good conversation, man. Jesus Christ. Well, the Hades stream, I planned that to be 2+ hours, and that felt like 2 hours. This didn't feel like 2 hours to me. It's almost been 2 hours. Okay, final words. C2, I think taking a beloved studio and mismanaging it into literal oblivion is anti-consumer. And yeah, if one feels that way, then absolutely Xbox is anti-consumer. If that is the foundation of it, then yes, absolutely. Creature, O Time Flew, Supertone. What Arkham games have you played? All 3. I did not play Arkham Origins or the VR stuff. I've just played the trilogy, you know, Asylum, City, Knight. Knight is still like, I would put Arkham Knight. Shockingly not City. Everybody always puts City or Asylum above it, but for me, I would put Knight in like, if there's ever a day, if there's ever a moment, like, I don't know if I want to make like maybe some kind of goal bar or marathon or something to build up to this huge task, but if the day ever comes where I reveal like my top 100 games of all time, maybe I'll narrow it down to 50. Arkham Knight's going to be on that list. Arkham Knight, to me, is superior to Arkham City. I think, well, no, correction. Arkham City, for the time, is a better game than Arkham Knight is, but Arkham Knight just had more of what I like in it. Arkham City is a better game for the time. Arkham Knight just has more content in it that I vibe with. So, yeah, you just literally are in Gotham. You're just Batman in Gotham City. Not a portion of Gotham City. So, anyway. C2, are you going to play Persona 6 when it comes out, if it's on Game Pass? Yes, absolutely. 100% C2. I don't want to play more than one Atlas game a year. Or one Persona game, I should say, a year. God, that's another thing. Metaphor ReFantazio is on Game Pass. I need to look at something really quick. I know we need to wrap up, but Xbox. Can I look at the catalog here? Xbox Game Pass catalog. Because, man, like, I just want to know if Metaphor is on the standard edition, because that's another conversation to have. Can I do this? There's something wrong with my freaking shit, man. Metaphor. So, okay, it's on Ultimate. How about Premium? Damn it. Go. It is on Premium. It's not on Essential. Nope. Okay, so it's on Premium, though. Damn, dude. See, that's what I mean. If you're okay just playing stuff that's like 6 months plus old, premium is where it's at. Like, you could play a lot of the first-party Xbox stuff. And Metaphor ReFantasio, like, if I played that game, that would probably be on the list. Like, that would probably be on the list. That's a really good shout. Anyway, but yeah, no, I would 100%. I keep looking at the camera over here. I would 100% play Persona 6 if it launched day one on Game Pass. Clip it, spread it around, make it happen. How likely are you to play Resident Evil 2? I don't want to say I never will, but just the Resident Evil games never really grabbed me. That's just a franchise I've never really been enticed to play. But that's also because I'm not much of a horror person, even like a survival horror. Yeah. C2, it's not you. The Xbox side is still having issues because of the cancellations. I couldn't see any Game Pass games earlier. Oh, why do I have a 1? I have a 1 notification. I don't know why. I don't know what that's about. Anyway. Okay. I need to go because my head's spinning and I should probably eat. And yeah, but Jissel, thank you so much for supporting because that really means so much. It really makes all this possible. Hopefully someday, like, I hope someday to just be able to do this with you like 3 times a week. That's genuinely the dream. Like, I genuinely would love, I have such a blast just talking about video game shit with you guys, even though we've been talking a lot about the Game Pass things. You know, just other topics, you know, I'm happy to bring them up or do rankings or whatever. Like, I love doing shit live because I feel like it's an opportunity for us to have somebody to kind of hang out with and engage with and such. So I just want all of us to be friends here, you know? So it's been a long ass stream. I can't believe it. Jesus Christ. I did not mean for that to happen, but here we are. So shout out to Jissel, shout out to the patrons at patreon.com/SamuraiKibiji. If you want to support and hopefully support the mission of being able to get to 3 streams a week, then even a $1 tier, man, it means a lot. You get into our Discord, you get to see some exclusive stuff, and you get to listen to the weekly KibiCast, where you could submit more topics that I'll just talk about on a weekly update with you. So, but it's the place that Jissel, as much as she supports me, she refuses to become a patron because she hates me. So with that, I'm going to go. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. I will see you next week where I fight a tiger. All right, bye.